our part of the world. Σε καλά. Όλα καλά. Hello. Welcome to our part of the world.
Thank you very much.
Let's do it. Thank you. We finally made this work, huh?
Thank you, Mr. President, and it is indeed a great pleasure to be here in Cairo on this very special day for European-Egyptian relations, and for those of us, Greece and Cyprus, who have worked hard towards reaching the point where we elevate our relationship to the level of a comprehensive and strategic partnership. This indeed is a milestone day which recognizes Egypt's profound strategic importance regarding the stability and prosperity, not just of the Eastern Mediterranean, but I would argue of Europe as a whole. And indeed, the draft joint declaration that we will sign today lays out the various building blocks for actually implementing our intention to make this strategic partnership have the necessary depth, whether it comes to economic issues or issues of energy, where we recognize the importance that we can play in helping you not just stabilize the economy, but ensure that you can provide the jobs for the young Egyptians by attracting foreign direct investment, whether this relates to energy or projects such as the Greece-Egypt interconnector can play a critical role in helping you develop renewable energy resources, but also ensuring that these renewable resources will reach Europe and in that sense strengthen our energy security, whether it means thinking about new and more ambitious projects, such as the ability maybe in the future to store CO2 in the geological formations that you have as a result of exploited or depleted gas fields, or whether it comes to cooperating in issues such as migration, where, first of all, we need to recognize the tremendous work that Egypt has done in hosting migrants and refugees from many countries that are faced with severe political and economic difficulties. And I think President Sisi is right to point out that if Egypt is prosperous and stable, this will help us also stabilize other countries, such as Libya and Sudan, whose people are maybe urged to flee a war, persecution, but also economic desperation. And of course, as the President of the Commission pointed out, it is incredibly important to make sure that we crack down on those smugglers who prey upon the desperation of innocent people, to ensure that no other new routes of illegal migration are open towards Europe, but also to make sure that we offer legal pathways to migration for young Egyptians seeking work in the European Union. We have worked very closely with Egypt in terms of our bilateral partnership. We have welcomed over many decades Egyptians who are keen to work in Greece, and I think that our partnership can serve as a role model of what we can achieve together as a result of this new comprehensive strategic partnership. Finally, on the issue related to Gaza, let me also share our deep concern about the humanitarian situation. Let me reiterate our call for an immediate ceasefire and the release of all the hostages, and let me also very much support what President Al-Sisi said, that we cannot accept under any circumstance any forced displacement of Palestinian people into Egypt, and we recognize Egypt's profound security concerns when it comes to this issue. And I would hope that we can work together, the European Union and Egypt, in terms of exploring possibilities of how we can work again towards what is the only realistic long-term political solution to the Palestinian tragedy, and that is, of course, a two-state solution. So again, Mr. President, it's a great pleasure to be here, and it's also a great pleasure to be accompanied by the President of the Commission and my distinguished colleagues at the European Council. And I think the presence of so many of us here today is testimony to the particular value we attach to this strategic partnership.
وسعادة السيد رئيس وزراء اليونان السيد كيرياكوس ميتسوتاكس بالتوقيع على الإعلان المشترك حول تأسيس مجلس تعاون رفيع المستوى بين جمهورية مصر العربية وجمهورية اليونانية.
Ladies and gentlemen, based on Egypt and Greece's eagerness to continue the advancement of their bilateral relationships to wider prospects and to continue to strengthen and activate their joint cooperation, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of the Republic, and His Excellency Prime Minister of Greece, Mr. Kyrgios Mitsotakis, signed the joint declaration on the establishment of a high-level cooperation council between the Arab Republic of Egypt and the Republic of Greece.
Mr. President, Madam President, dear colleagues, for those of us, as President Christodoulidis pointed out, that have been advocating for a long time a stronger and closer partnership between the European Union and Egypt, today is indeed a very, very special moment. The implementation of the comprehensive and strategic partnership with Egypt sets clear goals in terms of strengthening the relationship between the European Union and Egypt, and recognizes a very simple fact, that the stability and prosperity of Egypt is of critical importance to the European Union. And Greece will continue, as it has been, to be a steadfast supporter of Egypt's relations with the European Union, and to recognize the crucial role Egypt is called upon to play on numerous areas of common interest. This strategic partnership is signed in a time of great upheaval in the Middle East, and the topic was extensively discussed in our meetings, and we're all gravely concerned about the situation in Gaza, especially ahead of a possible ground invasion in Rafah, which, as the President of the Commission said, must be avoided at all costs. The humanitarian situation in Gaza is simply unacceptable. The situation demands an immediate ceasefire, the release of all hostages, and the opening of all avenues for humanitarian aid to alleviate the suffering of the innocent people of Gaza. And Egypt has a major role to play, and we're grateful for your responsible stance and efforts, Mr. President, facing this crisis whose consequences affect your country directly. And it is of paramount importance for the international community to act jointly to prevent a further destabilization of the wider region and Greece, from its end, stands ready to contribute to any effort that will lead towards achieving regional stability. In that spirit, our country has assumed a leading role in the defensive EU operation Aspides in the Red Sea, with the aim of safeguarding freedom of navigation and protecting human life, an issue which is particularly important also for Egypt and the revenues it gets from the Suez Canal. The collective EU effort, with the support of regional stakeholders such as Egypt, can contribute to a secure environment in that strategic maritime area. And we've also supported the launch of the Cypriot initiative for a maritime corridor as a complementary humanitarian route to that of the Rafah crossing. We've also had an opportunity to discuss issues related to migration in light of the current geopolitical challenges in the Middle East and North Africa. And we commend Egypt and its efforts in preventing flows from reaching the Mediterranean route by hosting a huge number of migrants and curbing the illegal trafficking routes. And we've discussed that we must prevent the opening of new routes, and we will work very closely with Egypt to ensure that this goal will be achieved, and we will also work very closely with Egypt to ensure that we open up legal pathways to migration in order to offer more young Egyptians an opportunity to travel to Europe legally rather than possibly risking their lives on very treacherous journeys. Finally, we touched upon the future of our cooperation in energy, which bears great potential for both sides. Egypt has the potential of becoming a powerhouse regarding the production of electricity from the wind and the sun, and we reaffirmed our commitment to continue to advance projects such as the Greki interconnection between Egypt and Greece, which has recently been recognized as a project of mutual interest by the European Union. In closing, let me thank you again, President Sisi, for hosting today's historical meeting. And let me reiterate again that the European Union stands ready to stand by and assist Egypt in its biggest challenges.